What makes a man dangerous? Well, if you stick with this video, I'm going to explain 3 things that you need to know. And if you can remove one of those factors, you're less likely to get a violent encounter.
It's super important to have all 3 of these things in mind and use them as a mental checklist.
You can use this model of thinking or risk assessment on any situation. So whether it be meeting a stranger who's arguing with you on a bus, a neighbour who's arguing with you about boundary fence, a stalker, we can assess their likelihood of violence based on these 3 clear factors.
Okay, so what's factor number 1?
Intention. Does the person intend to cause you harm? Are they angry enough to cause you harm? Do they have enough of a vendetta?
But with a stranger, you might not understand the intent because they might have this dark past that makes them violent and predisposed to outbursts of random acts of violence. So you might not know that this person has intent.
There are overt signs of intention. Clear example. You're walking down the road and someone takes a beeline towards you.
Okay.
So there's lots of people on the street and you can see that someone's actually moved from the side of your periphery and they're walking towards you. They're taking a beeline to intercept your path. Say when that person intercepts me, they have an angry face, balled up fist. They're showing the physical intentions to actually harm you. If you can't see someone's hands, what does that say about their intention to harm you?
If you can't see their hands, I would worry that I don't know what they're about to do.
You have to see someone's hands. If you can't see their hands, then there's a higher risk to you, but it also hides their intention. The intention could be psychological as well as physical, and there's different ways to display that. Emotions, body language, the way they move, the way they aim at you, eye contact, are all indications of intention.
So after I've identified their intent, what am I looking for next?
Their capability.
By that you mean sizing them up in a way?
Yeah, I mean, is the guy a big guy, small guy? Do they know what they're doing? Are they armed? Are they not armed? What is their capability to harm me?
Do they appear trained, as we've discussed in previous videos? All of these different, again, signals that we're looking for, which is that if I identify they've got intent to hurt me, are they capable of inflicting that intent upon me?
It doesn't always have to be a face-to-face confrontation. You've got an unhappy neighbour that potentially could flare up with violence. Do they have the intention? We've established that.
Okay.
They do. Do they have the capability? Or maybe the person has weapons in their house. It doesn't necessarily always have to be whether they're a skilled fighter. It could be whether they're armed or whether they have the capability to harm you. And that's really what we're trying to establish. So the last factor to examine is opportunity. Bearing in mind the person has the intention.
We've cleared that already.
They have the capability.
We've assessed that.
So if they have the opportunity.
Okay, so someone who is intent upon doing this and is capable of doing it still needs the window of opportunity. They're still an opportunistic animal at the end of the day. They need to have this chance to inflict the harm to you.
So we go back to the 2 scenarios. We go back to the stranger confrontation. The person's in your face, they're screaming and shouting. They're showing that they have capability. They're showing they have intention. And in addition to that, they now have the opportunity because you're standing in front of them.
Yes. So you're either providing people the opportunity or you're not. And this is a key sort of differentiation we have to make in protecting ourselves preemptively.
The opportunity is the one thing that you can control.
Yes.
Everything else you can't control. You can't control their capability. You can't control their intention. But what you can control is their opportunity.
And as you said at the beginning, if we can remove one element of this triangle, can almost distill the threat. So if you always take away opportunity, no matter how intent or how capable they are, you can ultimately survive the encounter.
Exactly, and that goes for criminal violence as well. You think about robbery. Someone could have the capability to rob, they could have the intention to rob, clear intention to rob, but if you deny them the opportunity for them to rob you, make it difficult, perhaps make yourself a hard target, then you've essentially gone around the circle. You've essentially avoided the situation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Well, the whole point of your self-defense and self-protection is to actually deny all the elements that are in your control. So remove the opportunity, reduce the opportunity, and you stand a better chance of surviving a dangerous situation with a dangerous person. So the takeaway is quite simple. Deny people the opportunity because that's the only factor that you have in your own control. But if you can follow these 3 factors and understand them intuitively, make it second nature to identify, you'll find it far easier to manage potentially dangerous situations. Thanks for watching.